Okay, there we have it. Glue up of one of the assemblies for the base of this unit. As you can see, I ended up going with 4 legs per side. Thought it just was a little more aesthetically pleasing, and I also thought that it was 6 feet long, and that was maybe just a little bit too much to go with just 3 legs. So what I did here to line everything up, I did it off camera, but basically I found center on my piece that's going to bridge the bottom, and I got a center line marked all the way through so that I could twist the legs and line up the corners right on center, so I knew it was a perfect 45. And then I just measured 2 feet in, 2 feet in from both ends to get crosshairs this way. And then that's how I line these up. As you saw, I clamped them together with these squeeze clamps to do my drilling of the dowels, and then I took them all off, which I shouldn't have. I ended up putting them all back on, dry fit, to put this tape on. And I learned that from the first go around that this tape is helpful to pull the excess squeeze out off. Honestly, I probably should have wrapped the leg with tape as well, and then I could have really just gotten in there with a wet rag and just like wipe that glue right out. Something else for next time. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. Went really well. Went better than the first time around. These are actually super handy. I found better than the squeeze clamps actually for getting it lined up. And I was clamping it down, and then you got to kind of stop as you start pushing down on it, because the leg might open up on one side, and then with your one hand pull that leg, loosen off, tighten up until you actually get it in the perfect spot where it's right down tight. You just look around, make sure you got no gaps. Went really well, so we're basically just going to let this dry. I'll do the other one off camera, and then we will go into the bottom of this thing and see how it goes. That's it for this video. Sorry, it was a bit of a long one, but yeah, you might want to see the glue up process. There'll be a quick sanding process. One mistake about not wrapping tape around there is when I got in there with the wet rag to wipe up some of that glue. If you don't know, once you start wiping water into the grain of wood, it's going to raise that grain and it's going to become rough to the touch. So I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time sanding up right tight down there where the wet rag might have touched the grain of these ash feet. So yeah, you want to try to avoid that. I should have taped all the way around, and then when I wiped it in there, I just would have been wiping the tape to get that glue out of there. But yeah, a little bit of cleanup of some glue with the chisel, nice sharp chisel, some sanding, and that'll be about that. You may also notice this wane here. I did the best I could, just trying to be frugal with the material I have. I'm going to make this the back side of this unit, so it's going to be honestly against the wall, never be noticed. Didn't mind it. It saved me from tying into a full another piece of my 4/4 ash. So, and this was kind of one of the bad ones. As you remember, when I milled it, it had that big bow. Again, perfect spot to use it. It's going to get glued right to here. That's going to take the bow out of it completely. And yeah, makes it so I can use my nicer ash 4/4 stuff for the top. So again, just really seeing what you got for material and picking your pieces accordingly so that you know where they're going. If it's going to matter, if there's defects, your wood is always going to have some issues. It's never going to be perfect, so you just need to know how to deal with that. I think that's it for this video. See you soon.